obesity is a mother of at least 53 different diseases. So that's a sign, though outwardly you may not feel the symptoms except the physical discomfort of carrying your weight. And of course, when you are in a social situation, people may be little embarrassed, and in a local you can always see that if someone, an obese person, comes and sits next to you, it's a pressure on you, not on him. So besides that, people may wonder, but now it is, all these diseases basically are linked to obesity. So obesity itself is a first sign. The body is trying to tell you that something is wrong. Take care. And if we cannot come back to our body, then all these things will start coming, and then it may result into life-threatening kind of situation. Heart disease, another important kind of a cardiovascular disease. So 17 million people, they die of cardiovascular diseases, especially heart attacks and strokes. So in that large section of cardiovascular diseases, there are several other cases, but heart attack is one of the major reasons for death. In India, it is the single largest cause of death among cardiovascular diseases. So this is how the level of heart disease that then we come to diabetes. So 347 million people around the world, they are now suffering from diabetes, and it is expected to rise to 438 million. Every year 7 million people are likely to be added. So this is the way now it is spreading. Here I am giving the websites because I wanted all these things to be database. Besides that, we may have this experience that you may be almost knowing that everyone known to you is suffering from diabetes or maybe having some problem of heart and like that. India has a special distinction. It is supposed to be now the world capital for diabetes and heart disease. So currently 40 million people. By 2025, it will swell to 70 million people, and one of every fifth diabetic person will be an Indian. If you look at the entire world background, every fifth diabetic will be an Indian. So this is how we are, these two things are affected, and this is what the World Health Organization and Indian Council of Medical Research, they are estimating this. And just I have put an advertisement which keeps on coming on the internet, and this is how the Max Bupa or health insurance, they are warning you that 40% of heart patients are between 25 to 35 years. So it is no more something which would come when you are now past 60 or 70. It has now come up to this. So then that means that we need to have a look as what is happening. Is there any germ, micro, virus that is spreading this disease because of the way the numbers are growing? Is there anything? Are the drugs that we take, are they going to kill these germs? Has anyone ever heard that a person who is having a diabetes has been cured? Anyone having heart disease is cured? We talk about control. But so far we don't talk about the cure. So what is happening? Now one of the important things is they are all called as non-communicable diseases. So it means there are no microbes involved, no viruses. You can't blame any of these microbes for this. So it is something different, and we'll have to find out what that thing is, because if we come to know that, then there is some hope that we may have some control, we may try to trace it back, we may try to be more healthy. Now so far, again World Health Organization's report on non-communicable diseases, it says that 4 common risk factors. So tobacco, physical inactivity, harmful use of alcohol, and poor diet. Now when I am talking about all these, it also includes diseases like cancer also. So these are the 4 major reasons that they have identified. Now in order to understand, we use now this term that these are called as lifestyle diseases. So we need to find out what is lifestyle. So far what is now clear to us is it is no microbe, no virus, no bacteria which is responsible. So it is our lifestyle. Now what do we mean by that lifestyle? So is it our manner of living? Is it one's attitude that affects our lifestyle? Maybe. So lifestyle is not just a set of factors, it is we and our thinking, our attitude, which actually may result into change in our lifestyle. Now if we really have a good lifestyle, then are there any chances that we shall be more healthy? And what we can say is that yes, there are chances. If our lifestyle is good, then we are likely to be healthy. But we'll have to then define what do we mean by good lifestyle. I'm just quoting one poem over here. The best 6 doctors anywhere, and no one can deny it, are sunshine, water, rest, air, exercise and diet. These 6 will gladly you attain if only you are willing. Your mind they will ease, you will they will mend, and charge you not a shilling. So one of the 6 factors. Let us try to find out what those factors are, and are we really benefiting from these doctors? So let us take the first 3. Sunlight. Now the poem calls it as a doctor. So can anyone share that what is sunlight has to do with our health?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D. So that is the most important thing, and as you see that there are scores and scores of people who are suffering lack of calcium, osteoporosis. Now all these are direct results that whatever calcium is going in our body has to get converted into vitamin D, and that vitamin D factory is with us, powered by the sun god. But now sun is not going to come into your room. You have to go out and be there in the sunlight. And then it is for us to find out how much time really do we spend outdoors so that we get sufficient sunlight. Freely available, as the poem said, that this is freely available, no charge is over there so far for getting sunlight. But maybe it is all probably taught to us in the textbook, we have forgotten by this time. So we believe that the doctor will give me the tablet, I will take the tablet for calcium or for vitamin D, and that will take care. But ultimately, the process is with you. Your body is having all the mechanism, you have to only utilize that. Second is water. Now maybe this is something which is not in our hand. Earlier people used to get mineral water, natural water, which contains number of minerals also, some of the good bacteria also. Now the kind of water that we get is all chlorinated, so all useful as well as harmful. Everything is removed. Then the other thing which is over there, the minerals and all, we don't know whether we really get it. So water itself, water therapy and all those things, so this is also one of the major lifestyle factor, and do we really get that kind of a water? Third, of course, most questionable, fresh air. So if you are living in a city like Mumbai, how far can we say that yes, we are likely to get fresh air? When you are stuck at a signal, and even if you are in the AC, what the AC is sucking in is the air which is full of smoke, dust and microbes and all. So this is where the lifestyle, the kind of lifestyle that we have now adopted, where we have moved to cities, big cities, and the kind of area in which we now stay, it prevents us from benefiting from some of these things. Then comes the next, so rest. Now is it equal to sleep? Can we really take a good sleep? Many people also have a problem that they are ready, but they can't get sleep. So much of anxiety, tension and so many other things. So our body may be lying over there for 6 or 8 hours. Are we really taking that rest? And what is the importance of this rest? Of course, it gives time to our important organs to recuperate. That is where all your major organs, normally within those 7 or 8 hours of night, you don't eat anything, so your stomach and all those organs are free. Your body can have some rest, and then that is the time that it uses to recuperate, to rebuild the things. So who takes rest? How much? When is it possible for us to take rest with the kind of lifestyle? Again, if you have shifts and all that, then your balance as such is again lost. Normally when we talk of any enjoyment, it is late night that we choose, and then morning we, what is called as a hang-up. So till 10 o'clock then we are asleep. So our entire day is probably wasted. But we believe that this is the kind of enjoyment. If it is going to be enjoyment, then it should start late, evening, and then it should go on till midnight. Then we really feel that yes, I enjoyed. So in between, our body is trying to give some message to you. It is trying to talk to you, but we suppress these messages. For example, thank you, sir. For example, when you really feel tired, your body is actually trying to tell you that you need to take some rest. What do? We order for a coffee, tea, take something, and then stimulate your cells to be active. And then we say that, okay, I am now fresh. I am fresh. But what your body has been done is that you are now pressurizing the body to go for it. And that is an activity which goes on continuously. So you don't permit even time, possibly, for that rest and recuperation. Then comes the most important part, and that is, you can see many of the people, our lifestyle has become sedentary. So there is less of activity. We move from one place to another place, probably with the help of some vehicle. So while going in the car also, we may be doing some work. We go over there, our work continues. We shall be using lifts all through. So how much time do we give? Now the answers would be different. In my case, I would say yes, my lifestyle was sedentary. Now there are people who are very active, very dynamic. They will wake up early, 4 o'clock, go to gym. They will have their exercise, and then only they will begin their day. So it's the lifestyle. And as I am saying, it is attitude. If I believe in this attitude, that everything will be okay, I am hale and hearty, and if anything happens, the doctor is over there, I will go, he will give me a set of medicines, and I will be alright. But particularly with the lifestyle diseases, one really important question that we have to address is whether we are curing the symptoms or whether we are curing these diseases. Now, the sedentary lifestyle itself indicates that exercise and diet can either reduce or delay the incidence of diabetes by over 50%. So when we talk about diabetes, there is something which is coming up directly. So this is what we need to do from the sedentary lifestyle. And then the important thing that comes is the diet. The kind of diet that we have. And once we see this kind of this becomes all the more important, and in all human societies across the world, food has become one symbol for celebration. So if I have to celebrate anything, any news, immediately the question comes, so party kab kar rahe ho abhi? So our majority of enjoyment has now moved towards diet. Diet has become one important source for our happiness, and as a lifestyle now, we'll have to check whether our diet is healthy or not. What is it that we are eating? Now one very broad definition that I am putting over here is diet doesn't mean food alone. It means everything that we take in. So whether it is now the good, the bad and ugly that we eat, what we chew, smoke, drink, eat, and if you go beyond, diet of all five senses. Entire day, what we see, what we listen, this is also a diet of that respective five sense organs. And once your mind is cluttered, why many of us probably don't go to sleep, because in the evening again you will be on the TV, you will watch something, all those things will keep in your mind. So this diet in a broader sense is everything, all our five senses are allowing us to take in, and in that process your mind remains cluttered. If it remains cluttered, then of course it is going to add further to your lifestyle. Let's directly come to the diet that we are having.